What's going on?
What up?
All right. Hey, Ram is doing that whole, he's stuttering across the screen. Think. We're just gonna have to deal with it, okay? Well, while his connection is stabilizing, I just want to say, holy shnikes, senior moment joining us all the way early is 8:30, saying what's going on. We got Hawkeye saying he was out there searching for parts, isn't everybody? Leonard, hey Leonard, good to see you. Yeah, everybody looking for that. And that was really early. Then we had Ancient Order dropped in. Appreciate you, thank you. And Hawkeye's back again. Leonard's back again. Y'all just blowing up the chat. All right, I'm just scrolling through their comments. Give me a second. Hey, Mr. Vino, how's it going? Darth Dav, hey, how we doing? Let's see. Goodness gracious. Y'all writing a book in there. All right. Oh, okay, this one's applicable. Ram live from Channel 13. Yeah, just about. All right.
Oh, man. I don't know what's going on with this connection, man. Between the computer and the internet just wants to do whatever the hell it wants to do. Just feel like I'm a freaking prisoner, man.
Well, you are kind of locked behind old tech. It's kind of sad how we've been forced into using what is quickly becoming obsolete technology that we can't really replace easily. I
can't replace my internet at all.
Cheaply, anyways.
Well, not cheaply or easily, but one of my users, we just did a complete top to bottom overhaul on Wi-Fi because it's been far too long and budget finally allowed. Unfortunately, one of my users, stop it. Sorry, cat in the box. Go figure. One of my users still has one of the original Microsoft Surface RT tablets, which was 2009, 11, somewhere around there. As far as computers go, it's a dinosaur, and he can see the Wi-Fi network, but his hardware doesn't know how to do the encryption, so he can't connect. Tears. Oops.
You have Schrodinger's cat back there, bro?
Yeah, I do, unfortunately. Yes, Hawkeye, sorry. I'm just tech, yes. And apologies to you.
We can't help but talk tech when my tech doesn't want to work.
And that's what I do for a living, so
my bad.
Yeah. All right, so we'll try and keep
the
tech talk down to not that. Yeah.
Let's talk tech talk about building guns, Hawkeye. Go. Oh, you're not here.
Don't knock him for that. He messaged me asking to possibly join in at some point. Well, instead of running a test with the poor gentleman earlier, I think was probably waiting on me and my absolutely horrible response time on private messages. Sorry, it's me. It's not you. Promise.
Damn it, man.
Well, family life.
Matter of fact, speaking of which, go ahead and throw the link up there for anybody that wants to join us. We're throwing the link in the chat right now.
I don't have the link. I can't.
Oh my gosh! All right, hold on.
Well, you send it over text message. I can't get it from text message to StreamYard.
Damn it! All right, hold on.
Put it in the shared Google document that we all have, and I can access it.
Ooh, why didn't you tell me that? See,
I
always send it weekly through text. I thought that helped, but okay, I'll put it in the shared document from now on. Now I gotta find it. Damn it!
It's okay.
Oh, there it is. I found it.
Back in the heyday, yeah. Back when operating systems actually worked, kind of. Okay, so not much increase there. And we didn't have as many restrictive laws in home building. At least there's that.
It is now up. Guys, you want to join us live on StreamYard tonight by video or by audio, please join us because we are going to be talking about holsters tonight. And I'd much rather hear someone else's voice other than mine. And excuse me while I get rid of a firearm that I probably would have picked up and put on. Hold on. Hold on.
He's
I'm gonna
just
show
trying to
this.
show off.
I'm going to show the holster, but I wanted to take a picture of it before we went live, but I didn't get a chance to. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
And there's our first negligent discharge. No, I'm kidding.
It sounded like it did.
No, I didn't have enough oomph in the bang, but that's okay.
I just knocked over the thing for the new computer that's sitting on the floor. Not the new computer, just the cover for it.
Okay, as long as it's only the cover.
No, it's just the cover. The new computer is actually over there in the other room on the other side of that son of a bitch.
On the other side of the son of a bitch. Okay,
on the other side of that wall.
All right.
Needing one more wire. Would you got? We're not going back into tech talk, but one more wire.
There we go.
There we
go.
All right, go ahead and introduce him.
All right. So, for anybody that's been a part of the forum for a little while or a long while, you've probably seen one of our more prolific posters, a gentleman who has a wealth of knowledge, Hawkeye. Welcome to the stream.
What's up, buddy?
All right. Might need to turn your volume down a little bit, Hawkeye.
To approach and then retreat from the beach.
Watching TV as well.
Yeah. There we go. All right. See, I told you it wasn't hard. It works. Welcome aboard. All right.
His lips aren't moving, so I guess he's not talking yet.
No, we got it.
I got it.
There he is.
Yeah, I'm not savvy on this tech stuff.
That's okay. That's my job. And don't trust me, you don't need to worry about it none. Here, let's get you a top slot. There, you're riding shotgun. It's all good.
At least I don't chatter.
And most people here can probably understand you better than they understand me and my tech speak. Sorry, it's habit.
Well, they can understand all of you better than me. I'm probably still chattering right now.
So what we
Most
need to
of the
do?
time you're just a frozen head, brother.
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's okay. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
What we need to do is get us all together, and we'll just broadcast from one location. It'll be fine. Yeah, that's not going to work though. So Hawkeye, what brings you on tonight, sir?
I thought I'd tell everyone why I've spent so much time doing the summer build post.
Well, okay, I sure would like to hear it.
And the reason is I want you guys to get involved in building that one-of-a-kind build. I mean, everybody's built their builds. They got one or two or more builds. It's time to take them to the next step. Once you take them from just being a 80% gun to that one-of-a-kind showcase, it just makes it that much harder for anybody to ever take it away from you.
Mm-hmm. And certainly,
I agree, man.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying I agree, man. That my dad actually, when we were building his the other night, I told I told him, I said, man, honestly, what we just built costs more than if you just went to the store and bought it. He goes, then what's the point of building it? I was like, because it's yours. It's only yours. It'll only be yours. It's a one of a kind. There'll never be anyone like it, regardless of how much it costs. And it's the experience of building it.
Yep.
And that's a piece of artwork, something that you can pass on, and especially when you take it to not just the basic kit. When you add on that little flair and you make it yours and personal, that becomes a family heirloom at that point,
Exactly. Yeah. It's something that can live long after you're gone. And another reason I posted everything is I screwed up a lot on this build.
That's the best way to learn.
I want you to see whatever you do to one, you can fix. Unless you break the thing in half and stomp on it, you can pretty much fix a frame. And you already have all the parts. So let's say you destroy your frame. All you got to do is get another one. You already got all the parts. That's the big cost. So do it. And got any questions? There's not much I can't do or can't fix. Just ask.
And I would like to point out again, Hawkeye, you've been fantastic and such a wealth of knowledge on the forum. And I thank you very much. You're probably on it as much or more than I am, I must admit.
Well, I'm retired. Breakfast I'll check in, lunch I'll check in, evenings I'll check in. So that's just more reason. If you guys have any questions on doing a mod or changing anything, just ask. For one thing, I need some new ideas.
I can tell you, I check in multiple times a day, and I especially check in when I see Hawkeye has updated or posted to FTQ80. So I'm like, all right, I got to see what's going on with the summertime build.
Yeah, seriously, it's always
looking for
interesting,
the updates, man. I'm always looking for the updates.
Well, I have some lone wolves I'm going to start this winter, and I've been thinking about what can I do to a lone wolf and
have a winter wolf pack, huh?
Yep.
Well, it's something different. I think I have somewhere around 9 or so P80s. I never could get a strike 80 in, but I'd like one.
Well,
but I got a CL now, and I got an idea for it. And this is the thing: when you start building, you build your gun, you shoot it, you make sure everything's safe, everything works. Then you start your upgrades, your mods, your paint, because you're working with something that already works. So you're not going backwards all the time. You're always going forward. And it just makes it easier. And I'll tell you, when I build a build, it takes me a year bouncing around ideas in my head before I ever start. And that's the main thing, is getting a plan. And I'll tell you, every plan I've ever planned never turned out the way I planned. I always change something. The build will come alive and just take on things of its own. Like this Black Widow build, I had nothing like I ended up with in the vision I started. And it was ideas I got from guys on the post. I mean, the spider thing hit me with something I think Ancient Order said. And then there was another one about how to polish the slide that got me thinking about that. So the more we talk about ideas in our heads, the more artistic value we can get out of our builds when we build them.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I can't disagree with anything you said. You are spot on, and I certainly appreciate that.
Well, I just want you guys to know I'm here to help. So,
yeah, I mean, Hawkeye, you've seen some of my concept art for a few builds I've done. By the time it's finished, man, I mean, resembles what I started out with. I mean, with some flourish and stuff, but everything is a build when you do it as a themed build or like a super custom should almost be organic.
Yeah,
in a way, it should almost evolve on its own.
And I'm still waiting for some really good pictures. Yeah. Hey, here's an idea. I was reading somewhere, and they were talking about putting on a thumb rest. Well, if you do a thumb rest in JB Weld, it'll paint, but it doesn't stipple. So you got to be careful how you do it. And then I was talking with somebody else, and we started talking about embedding something into the grip. And it got me thinking on this CL build I'm going to do. I've been thinking about doing an American Indian kind of build. And I was thinking, well, maybe I could take a arrowhead and embed it at the top of the grip, kind of, so it's like a thumb rest. And that would open up all the stippling around it, so I wouldn't have to worry about trying to stipple or paint the JB Weld. Anyway, it was just an idea.
You'd almost be better off 3D printing an arrowhead, a solid one, not a hollow one. But you'd almost be better.
That's something else I have to get into, 3D printing.
I'm trying to think of if there would be a way to embed an obsidian or even just a porous rock arrowhead. I mean, I've got a whole pile of them over here. I could send you one to try out.
I got gobs of rocks.
Right.
3D printing can get you some good things.
3D printing would be the best way to go because you could get some good detail in the edges.
You can do color change filaments and all kinds of random stuff on the.
Hey, I got a question for you. Does the plastic you use in 3D printing, does it stipple?
So yeah, you can. It's not quite the same as the polymer.
It's a softer plastic, isn't it? That
and it's not quite the same. Honestly, if you're gonna do it, just print it that way, because you can print a stipple built in, and that probably not as quick as maybe doing it by hand for an expert, but better than most if you're new to the game, I suppose. I tried that one, the 940C, and it had that diamond pattern, and it came out beautifully. I mean, it felt perfect, like somebody hand stippled it, and it was great. Obviously, the frame itself was a fail print, but it was a cool stipple.
Yeah.
Well, I think is Darth Dav waiting in the.
Yep, and actually, I was going to say let's add in. We have Darth Dav here, and another one of our prolific forum members. Are you there, sir? Hello, Darth Dav, you with us? Yeah, you're super faint though.
Oh, yeah, because my mic just.
There we go.
There we go. Live and loud. And again, a perfect example of I welcome everybody to join via audio if you don't want to do video. Now, Dav, you have the floor.
Oh, thank you very much. I've been trying to join in, obviously. Anyways,
about the struggle.
Just while I was doing some other stuff, Guns and Gadgets channel has got a live stream going about Senate making a decision on violating our rights, and I just put out to everybody, contact your senators tomorrow and let them know whether they, go with your opinion or not, but you don't want them to vote on Thursday.
Well, what's the bill on?
So we got all day tomorrow. The bill is on the red flag laws and obtaining the background checks, all the bad stuff they've been working on, unfortunately, for the last 3-4 weeks.
All right.
Well, wonderful.
Definitely something to look into. Educate, contact your senators if they're willing to listen. I know in my particular state, if you write in anything pro 2A, you get boilerplate back going, hey, we don't like you. But that's okay.
Oh, that's sad.
No, that just sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately, my senators for the state have voted in some red flag laws, but they're not. They both are Republicans, and they're not on the 14 Republicans that have sided with the Democrats. I just listened to Jared of Guns and Gadgets run down the list. I guess because we already have them in our state, they decided not to go federal. But there's also going to be magazine bans and all the bad stuff that those of us who are old enough lived through from '94 to 2000.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Uh-oh.
And it's sort of a devil's advocate type question, because the hell. Hold on a minute. I lost all of you guys. Give me a second.
It's a devil's advocate question. When he lost all of us, he went.
I can't.
Gone.
Where the hell? Oh, there you go. All right, found you. All right. So the devil's advocate question is: with everything that's been going on in the last few weeks, and from what I understand, there were 2 more shootings after the Texas shooting. And there being obvious issues with mental health and people having access to guns with having mental health issues, can there be a red flag law that put in place that actually helps and not infringes on us normal, mentally healthy gun owners?
Before any confiscation occurs, you would have to have an immediate trial for fitness, which means you'd have to have psychiatrists, judges, and lawyers on tap 24/7.
With
That ain't going to happen.
With that being said, you can't say that, because that's exactly what the red flag law in Virginia is. Before there is an active red flag law in Virginia, and before it can be acted on, a person's mental stability has to be tested. There has to be an investigation by more than one party. It can't just be the police officers. It has to be police officers, investigation, and mental health before a judge is able to even sign off on it. And that's the one that's actually currently active in Virginia. And I have yet to hear of any case that actually been signed off on a red flag. Now, with something like that in place, does that protect us from being, it helps us, one, get due process. If someone can just call and say, hey, he's got a closet full of guns and he threatened me, and someone show up at the door and confiscate our guns, because there has to be an investigation first.
Yeah. I said, well, that's the worry. You don't want people to be able to do that, because then people are going to weaponize that, like kids calling SWAT on their school.
And that's been the problem in certain areas that have red flag laws. Now, I understand and trust and believe I'm not for any type of infringement, but with people that are actually showing up that have mental, and I'm saying there's mental health issues, without having any type of doctorate and all of that stuff. But there absolutely has to be. There's no way a sane human being would do what we've been seeing being done. Right. So, there's going to be plenty of people that say, oh, Ram, you're a rebel, you're a FUD, and blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. Because all I want is the safety of human beings and the rights of law-abiding citizens to be protected. But we also have to protect others. We can't say, oh, well, we have the right, and everyone should have the right if you're not mentally healthy and to be able to carry.
And there is precedent for that. I mean, one of the things you aren't, if you've been unwillfully committed to a mental institution, you're not allowed to possess. It's similar. There is some precedent for that, certainly.
And
Dav's coming in a little quiet. But
go ahead, Dav. What'd you say?
Yeah, I was going to say I agree with you. The unfortunate part of what I've been hearing, the background of the red flag laws, is the infringement. And once again, Guns and Gadgets breaks it down very, very well. I think it's half a dozen amendments to the Constitution that are going to be violated. First, second, fourth, and I believe 14th Amendment come to mind. And it's their workaround to not have due process, which is in the Constitution. You cannot face your accuser. And it's just a way for the gun grabbers, so-called gun grabbers, to grab your guns. And unfortunately, if anybody remembers, Trump said he agrees with grabbing the guns first and going to court later.
Yeah, I totally agree with all of the fight against all of that. I wasn't actually referring to what's going through the Senate now. I was just like I said, posing the question of whether it could be done. I absolutely don't agree with anything that's going through Senate right now.
Yeah, it could be done. What you're talking about could be done, but that's not what seems to be our gun grabbing government's goal. It's to
exactly.
You're right.
That
unfortunately that should be the goal.
Yeah, that's their ultimate goal, is to unarm the legal citizens. And I go with the old saying: when guns are outlawed, be an outlaw.
I wear the T-shirt proudly.
Yeah.
I wear the t-shirt proudly, but you know, and what do you call it? So Ancient Order just put up what's Ancient Order's thing? Who decides mentally
Exactly.
healthy? The CDC. No, the CDC can't do it. It has to be an independent,
non-government organization,
non-partial, non-government, doctor. Not a federally appointed. It's so hard. I get it. It's hard. It's inconvenient and it's hard. But can it be done? I think so. But let's fight what's going through. Let's trying to go through Senate out. Let's fight that. And we need more people speaking up for the one right way to do things. Because I agree that there are definitely people that have mental illnesses that shouldn't have access to any type of weapon, knife, gun, pencil, razor blade, whatever. They shouldn't have access to it because they could be danger to themselves and others. I mean, how many things do you see?
Hey, Mr. Vino's got a good question. Who foots the bill for that? Well, obviously taxpayers are gonna.
Obviously, yes.
I would almost go so far as to say that it would be a government expense if proven necessary, like the person was in fact red flag. But if it was like, no, there's no reason for this, the person who called should pay. Sorry, but if you're going to call on somebody and try and weaponize it and you're found to be in the wrong, then it's on you. You pay. Other than that, government expense. I mean, a few pennies on the dollar for how many times it gets called on.
That's just how easily that could be abused. I mean,
100%.
Ancient Orders, sorry, that's infringement. How easily can something like that be just abused?
100%.
Ancient Order, which are you talking about infringement? Which part?
Well, the hard part is
something real quick is
Def.
What I wanted to say is what comes to mind is other countries, and I believe some places in our country, the jails have been turned over to private companies, and the families of the person jailed have to pay for that person's to be taken care of, their food, and they have to pay for their room and board, basically. And if that started happening here, maybe the families would start doing things to stop family members from doing bad stuff and getting put in jail.
Family as a construct has degenerated to such a point in our society where it's essentially a useless support group. Sorry.
I understand, but
if my kids would have listened to me, they'd have been a lot better off.
Say that again.
I mean, repeat Hawkeye, please.
I said if my kids would have listened to me, they'd be a lot better off.
Well, if I had listened to my pop before me, yeah, there you go.
So I have a question to Ancient Order. He said red flag laws are infringement. Currently, in their current state, I agree. But I believe that they can be taken to a point where they become protective, not infringement. I mean, what would be the difference in I, as a family member, knowing someone within my household, my neighbor, is going to do something and I take it upon myself to stop them? Well, I saw the red flag, quote unquote, and I took steps to stop them from doing what they were doing. Sometimes we can't do that as individuals. Sometimes we might need someone to step in and help that person, whether it's, and I'm speaking strictly on mental illness right now. I'm not speaking on just grabbing someone's gun because I don't believe in it.
Right.
If you want mine, you got to come get it, and it's not going to be an easy fight. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Trust and believe, I am not. Do not take my words out of context. I am not talking about that. But we all know that there are people that should not be handling firearms. I don't care. You could say it's infringement all you want, but you'll say it's infringement until they kill one of yours. And I'm sorry to be as blunt as that, because if they come at one of yours and you find out they were mentally unstable, you are going to have a problem with it.
So Ancient Order saying, how would you fix that today? And while I'm speaking, Monty Reviews chimed in. Hey, nice to have you there, buddy.
It's almost impossible to fix unless the group of people that can possibly help or go in the right direction sit down to the table, put your egos aside, and fucking take the well-being of the American citizens, or the citizens period, or people period, man. They don't want to sit at the table and fix the problem or even try to address the problem. Everybody is posturing. Everybody wants their way. Everybody is like a child with a toy that they have to have it, and someone else can't have their way. That's the problem. That's one of the problems, in my opinion. And I'm only speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for the other panelists.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I don't have a solution, Ancient Order, and the solution definitely is not infringement in the way of taking people's right to bear arms. That's not. Current
suggestions are not the greatest.
Yeah, people's right to commit murder and mass murder and stuff. Go ahead, Hawkeye. I see you waiting. Go ahead, man.
For one thing, red flag laws are not about helping people who need help. They're about taking your guns. The people who are going to be called on red flag laws should have been helped a long time ago.
Agreed.
And these red flag laws, you know as well as I do, these radicals are going to take them way beyond what they're intended for. So it's going to end up in the courts and they're going to be knocked down. So that is what's going to happen.
Yeah. Or you'll even get in the uneducated, not necessarily the anti-gunners, but just the uneducated few that go, I saw so-and-so walk across the street and yell at so-and-so. I happened to notice that he was, carrying a firearm on his right hip.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to get that. And that's the sad, unfortunate part about it is the extreme to which somebody, the piddly shit that somebody might use.
It's every situation will be taken too far.
It will be weaponized against people. Certainly would be.
And that's the unfortunate part, because some people need a form of protection. Let's just say, domestic abuse issues. A wife calls in because so it's okay to minority report someone based on.
Is it okay?
No. So is it okay? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if you have a wife that has an ex-boyfriend or a husband or ex-husband or separated or whatever, who's been domestically abused, and this person has threatened her and he owns guns, and she calls in to try and get help, and there is no help, then what do you do? Now you have that's a whole nother set of problems.
Listen. That's the whole problem. Is there are laws that prevent that. There are laws to help all that. And there are laws and there are laws. And so let's look at what ones that aren't being enforced right now before you start labeling everybody with red flag laws.
Well, and some people would argue that that's what red flag law is supposed to be.
Right.
Well, ask them about what laws aren't working or what laws.
How about restraining orders? That first level of defense in that exact situation. It's just a piece of paper.
We have a long list of those, man. I agree with you, man.
I'll go to the flip side of what Ram just said too. You can imagine it in this type of a situation where, let's say you have a woman who was assaulted by an ex-husband. She's going through therapy to go through the issues, but she's still afraid of ex-husband kicking in the door one night, and she needs to defend herself. Would this poor woman fall underneath the red flag law since she isn't completely mentally stable, but not completely mentally stable due to the abuse, should she not be able to own a firearm because she is going through counseling to go through it? You know what I mean? That's kind of where the slippery slope shit comes into play.
That's one of the things I wanted to say a little while ago, because people are scared to go to talk to a counselor for fear of, I'm a gun owner, now talk to a counselor, am I mentally ill? You know what I'm saying? It keeps people from seeking out the help that they need mentally, even though they're not mentally ill, medically, it keeps them from getting the red flag law, keeps good people from getting the help they need for fear of being tagged in a red flag case. I could say I've been there. I could say sometimes I felt like I wanted to talk to somebody, but the conversation, where the conversation might go, could end me on a list.
And none of us want that.
I'm not mentally ill by any means, but I have some dark times. I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? Most men, you never know they have dark times because they grin, they bear it, they handle business, put their head down, do what they got to do, but they're screaming inside and need to talk to someone. And their wife or spouse is not only the ones they need to talk to all the time. And sometimes the red flag laws like this, they keep people from getting help that they need.
Exactly, Angel. That's kind of part of the things I was going. There.
Yeah, and that's why I said, I'm sorry, keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother.
No, that's what I was saying earlier, and I posed the question: if it's done correctly, could it be done? I mean, like I said, and I'm going to research it now that we're having this conversation. Has there been any red flag cases here in Virginia since the new red flag law went into effect a year and a half ago? I don't think there has been. I haven't heard of one, because I know that the Republicans, they opposed it so badly and made so many changes that have to be done in order for it to even reach the desk of a judge. But in your piggyback on what you said, Weapon X, there was a woman out in Vegas, and I actually have the article in my files, so I wanted to talk about it at a later date, but she actually did have that exact problem that you brought up as far as the ex-husband or ex-boyfriend. Well, she had a new boyfriend. The ex-husband came to the house in the middle of the night threatening her and her her new boyfriend. And I can't remember if she had any therapy or anything like that, but she sure enough pulled her gun and smoked that dude. He's gone. And she faced 0 charges because of the fact that he was the issue, not her. But you're right. That could be it's all just crazy, man. And
our system doesn't allow shades of gray.
Yeah. It sucks because people that need help need to get help without fear of reprisal of a red flag law. Speaking like Hawkeye said, how many laws broke down all the way to before even getting to that point?
Speaking of laws, Mr. Vino went on a little tangent here. What is this boyfriend loophole law that they're talking about? Oh my, yeah. Darth Dav was quicker to type it out than to say it. I think. I don't know. You're still with us, yeah, Dav?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right,
okay.
Cool.
Sorry.
I got my little command center going on. I got a couple devices running, so
that's fine. I just
we all know the feeling.
Yeah, trying to make
let Ram speak his mind, and just put in there. They're very akin to the red flag laws. You dated somebody that owns guns. You don't feel safe. You go to a judge and say that, and then that person is wearing the matching bracelets that tie in the middle, and all their, like somebody said, all their little babies are being taken away, and got to go to court later to get them back.
Yeah. The other variant for that was akin to, you can't purchase a firearm if you have been convicted of domestic violence, misdemeanor, whatever, and you've been married to or live with the person, something like that. But it doesn't count if you're a boyfriend. So they want to close that. But then you have two people that aren't technically legally connected that you're now legally connecting.
Yeah, that was one of the issues that they're trying to hash out, was their definition of a relationship. Was it, 1 night? Was it 1 week? 1 month?
Reading about this.
How long?
Oh, don't want to be in a relationship today. It's 1 hour or less.
Starting the timer now.
Yeah, I got 58 minutes and counting.
Well, I have a question for Darth Evan and for Hawkeye. How would, and it's all hypothetical, but how do you think this situation should be handled as far as we know we definitely want to put down the red flag laws. That goes without saying. How do you think, and I'm going to put you on the hot seat since you guys are the first live guests we have on here from the forum. I just want to give you applause on that. Thank you guys for joining us. But how do you think as a society we should move forward? Put down the red flag laws, but how do you think we could put things in place to help the situation?
I can tell you how to fix all of it.
All right.
Tell us. Go ahead, Hawkeye.
Preach.
Move to a free state. I got put up with Chicago back in '77, and I don't regret it at all.
No, that's okay. I can't say as I blame you.
My 2 cents is we have to learn how to fix the problem, not treat the symptom. And society is, they're with the criminals that were let out of jail during the Rona coup last couple of years, and then the cities that burned, and it was called peaceful protest.
Mine was one of them.
That's part of the problem right there.
Well, you got a chance coming November to start stopping all this crap, because this whole problem is created by a bunch of leftists, socialists on the other side that don't think nobody should have a gun or nobody should do anything without their permission. And until you put a stop to that, none of this is ever going to stop.
Yes.
Well, we all do certainly have elections.
I can't disagree with that.
Because just think about it. All this is about taking your guns. It's not about solving any problems, because none of this is a real problem if the laws that were set before were enforced.
Well, that's kind of important.
And it comes down to
look how many of these mass shootings, the guy went through a background check. He was in a mental hospital. They did drugs, but yet they still got a gun. That's a failure way before it ever got to a red flag or anything like that.
Yeah.
And you talk about the crime in the city. Look at how many gun laws they're not even enforcing there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Creating a new law to tackle
but they need new laws. They don't enforce the gun laws they have, but they need new laws.
Because creating a new law to tackle a problem that may or may not exist but gets a lot of media hype is a great way to get votes come election time.
That's what it's all about. Is misleading everybody to the point to you're afraid, so you're going to vote to give up your guns.
There was a point there was a point in which the Roman Senate became ineffectual. Rome didn't last long after that.
Exactly. And we're seeing the same thing happen here. And if you want to stop it, it starts come November.
Yep. Rabbit hole alert.
Rabbit hole alert.
Hey, listen, guys.
Yeah.
I've been around a long time.
Read that out.
I've been around since Clinton and Obama. And, here's another thing I heard today. Remember when Obama was in office, you couldn't find ammo because they were buying it up?
Mhm.
Well, they're getting ready to start doing that again, so you better get your ammo. But when Clinton got in office, they were going to ban everything. And they were selling guns so fast, you could buy a piece of aluminum with a serial number on it until it was milled into a lower. That's how bad it was. They couldn't stop it. And you know what law they passed? Your AR couldn't have a bayonet lug on it. Oh, wow, man. I wanted to build one with a bayonet lug. I really did.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Seeing the moment, it's not so much. Sorry.
Is there really such a thing as an honest election these days? Go ahead, Dave.
If people don't go out to vote, remember, you got to vote more people have to come out and vote than the fraud votes that come out, the dead people and blah, blah, blah. You just got to get your family out to vote. I mean, I march my kids to vote every time.
Hey, Hawkeye. Sorry to interrupt, sir, but Dad's been trying to get a word, and he's just a little fan. I don't think you've been catching him. Can we give him the floor for a sec?
Plus, we can't see any facial movement from him.
I know, but I'm at work and I don't need anybody tuning in and saying, "What are you not doing?"
No, go ahead, man. What you have to say?
Fine, brother. You're fine.
Something just came out today. I saw, and the IRS has spent, I think it was $70 million on since March purchasing ammunition, saying that it's duty ammunition. And then the Lakeside military gun production facility has been told by the government, it's run by Winchester, but the government told them that they're no longer allowed to sell surplus ammo that they make for the military to the public. So they're trying to cut off the freedom seeds that we need. And this was spoken about last night when I came into work, and I said it's hard to drive a car when you can't put gas in it.
Right.
True. Which is another reason to keep a reasonable stock on and be prepared to help out your fellow patriots in time of need.
So is it just Harry ammo? That's my question. Is it military ammo?
What's coming out of the I think it's Lakeside. I can't remember the name exactly.
Dad, you're pulling a ram on us.
Okay.
Sorry.
This better?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Hello, this better?
Yes, good to go.
Yeah,
God Family. All right, God Family Guns covered the facility. He actually lives close to it. Went out there and talked to him. Of course, got the runaround, but they're not saying anything as to yes, the government told them not to sell, but what they sell to the private sector, as far as 5.56 223 caliber, is about 30% of the market. So if they're not allowed to sell anymore, that's a big hole that's going to be created for us trying to arm ourselves.
Well, definitely good information to pass along.
So it's like
here's my question. Nope. If it's just military ammo, most of the ammo you buy is civilian. The military ammo has a waterproof primer, and I think they have a different crimp on them than what civilian ammo's got. So all they're doing is not selling military surplus. Now, military surplus hasn't been able to be sold for, I don't know, quite a while, since 68 gun laws. They haven't been selling because they
not.
Oh, go ahead.
Not from what I'm understanding is being reported. It's the M855 green tip in particular, but there's other companies that sell a comparable.
Years.
Yes.
Yeah, Vino just said it too. Yeah,
but they're
very popular.
Yeah, there's other companies that don't sell it with the green tip on it, but they sell the same projectile, and the primers are sealed, like Hawkeye was saying. So the government is trying to control whatever they can and do workarounds by not banning anything, not having to get Congress involved, but being able to make an effect as quickly as possible.
Now, I wonder if that would also affect, the ever so popular like green tip 5.7s.
Yes, I believe they're also falling in that category.
Yeah. There's
it's a mess. It's a mess.
Well, but
there it is. Somebody ancient order put in Lake Hill, not Lakeside.
Yeah. Actually, there's a warisboring.com has a whole to do on it. I haven't really had time to vet the article yet, but yeah, Lakeside stop and manufacture green tip, or at least shutting down the sale to the commercial market being the key phrase there.
Correct.
Yeah. So, but all the more reason to get your ammo now and try to stop that nonsense whenever and wherever you can. But that's not a law or anything.
Yeah, Nico.
So they can just do whatever.
That's because they don't want it trickling all the way downhill, just Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, this is.
Yeah.
I was going to say this reminded me of last week talking to a coworker. He seems to want to get into the 80% arena, and I'm bombarding him with a whole bunch of stuff, and he's like, how do you know this? I said, I've been studying this for years. Yep. I got so much information. I got to try and filter it out at a slow pace so I don't stumble over myself.
Dole it out little bit by little bit.
Like, yeah, don't blow them out. Don't blow them out.
Come join the forum. It's all good.
Yes, I told them about it. I told them you can get information, you can get deals, all that good stuff.
Oh, so speaking of all that good stuff, we've already been going for almost 55 minutes. And Mr. Vino,
I probably have to get to holsters next week.
I think next week
came on here and just derailed the whole shit.
I'm sorry, but once again, I felt I had to get out there.
That's what this show's about, man.
Stuff, man. It's important
between
stuff,
between
at least I put it into.
Hey, I brought my prop. I didn't get to use it, but I got it right here.
What you got? Hold on. Let's get you full screen here. Whoop.
Desert sand.
Is the safety on?
Hey.
Did you drop test that?
You didn't check and show it's clear now. Come on.
Yeah, did you drop test that?
Thank you.
I drop test the first one and it broke, so I just drew it on this.
Mr. Vino, thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh man.
Isn't it crazy what you can, get accomplished and have a conversation when everybody is like-minded and
none of us need to worry about getting votes.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. That's one thing I like about Tuesday nights at 10.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Well, we have 4 minutes. Anybody want to say anything in the last 4 minutes? And Mr. Vino, I guarantee we'll get to unless we have another hot topic we need to discuss, we'll get to holsters and actually belts and everything else next week.
I would like to add in regards to the belts and holsters and stuff. I'll start it up. A post in the just general discussion for holsters and belts. If anybody has any specific companies that they go through often or specific belts that have worked for you, or hell, fucking pants. If you got a specific pair of pants that you like wearing a lot because it works really well with your holster, throw them up on there. We're going through our affiliate links and vendor stuff today and realized we have one holster company in there now after HCM shut down. Yeah. So I've compiled a list today of several offerings for companies that have P80 holsters, several companies that don't even offer P80 holsters. We're going to get the vendor list updated for that, but we could use your guys' help as well. So if you guys have anybody, or even if it's a friend that does holsters and sells them on Facebook, toss it up on there.
Yeah, bring them on over. Yeah, we are vendor friendly. We like vendors to come and say, "Hey, look at what I got." Even if it's not a deal, a deal's cool, but come on down, show us what you got.
Hey, and speaking of friends that might do it, hey, what better way to help out a friend than to get them in front of almost 200 freedom-loving members of the forum? And we need 3 more to hit 200 people. Shameless plug. Anyway, better way to help them if they're thinking of starting a business, to get their business in front of more people. One of the TikToks and whatever I see is a voiceover to go, how come you're not famous yet? And the guy responds, why didn't you share my link? Why didn't you share my business? I'm not famous because you're not sharing my business. Well, we know somebody doing something, guys. Let's share it. If there's something that can help the community and help them, get it up there, man. We'll put them right at the top of the damn vendor list. I don't care. If they put out a good product and they're going to help, come on, guys. Let's get it done. What better way to help the community than to help each other?
All right. And that can also encourage new and upcoming artists that might be like, you know what, I like doing this, but I don't know. Right. Come on, send them our way. Either those.
I'm going to get Hawkeye to start a custom business at some point, man.
There you go. No, that ain't happening. every time I get into something that's a good hobby, it turns into a business, and
it sucks. There's no fun at that point. Yeah, I agree. It's no fun when you have to do it. All right, guys. Well, we're going to shut it down for the night. Hawkeye, Dave, thank you for coming on, man. Hopefully this will start a trend. You're welcome back anytime.
Yes.
I will be throwing up, what do you guys think? Throwing up the link at the beginning of the show. So anybody on, you think that's a good idea?
A little bit.
If anybody wants to talk about custom stuff and how to do mines and that, I'm always around, and I'll come back on and then show you with my little pop chart what I do. And
wealth of knowledge, great. Your articles are great. I appreciate all your posts. And I mean, you are just the image gallery post. My gosh, thank you so much for the inspiration. But
you've got so many good images, man. You could come up here and do a tutorial, and we'll put your images in the slide deck, and you can just
here's a question. Here's a question. I've done that Black Widow build, and I can't get good pictures. So I was thinking about putting it on one of those little roundabout things and doing a video of it turning.
Yeah.
Could you put that up?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
That's my plan anyway, because I can't get a good picture with all that glare off that high polish.
Yeah, it looks black in some of the pictures. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be polished. And then I realized it's because of the lighting and
we can't work that out.
And see, here's the difference. There's a polish that they do on slides that they do on a buffing wheel. They use like a rouge on it, and It's a good shine, but you can see lines.
Mm.
This one I did, if you look into a mirror, that's the finish you got. And that's why it's so reflective that you just can't get a picture of it.
Yeah.
What if you took
awesome,
a picture outside in natural lighting, daytime?
Yeah.
I mean, then you'd get the mirror images reflecting off of the slide instead of just like a black background or a white background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you all so
All right,
very
guys.
much for joining us. Thank you all for watching. We hope to see you next Tuesday, 10 Eastern. And bring us all your fun times. Next week, Ram's going to reuse the same image. We're talking holsters and belts and such. Okay? so thank you everyone for saving Ram some time. He's been a little overworked lately. He is the graphics guru. So all right, y'all. Thank you.
All right, guys. We thank you for
coming.
coming here. Let's get back to building, guys. All right. Talk to you later.